Hello friends, today we are going to see about MCQs of measure for measure. The first question is, where is measure for measure set? The answer is Vienna. Where is measure for measure set? The answer is Vienna. What does the Duke dress up to observe the going on in his absence? A. Constable, B. Friar, C. Executioner, D. MA. The answer is option B. A Friar. What does Lord Angelo demand from Isabella in exchange for her brother's safety? A. Family, fortune, B. Sex, C. Love, and D. Blessing. The answer is option B. Sex. Why did Angelo abandon his former lover Mariana? The options are: she lost her faith, she lost her mind, she lost her love, she lost her dowry. The answer is option D. She lost her dowry. What does the Duke ask Isabella to do at the end of the play? The options are: leave Vienna, become a nun, marry Angelo, marry Duke. The option is D. Marry Duke. What vacation does Isabella envision for herself at the beginning of the play? The options are nun, lawyer, governess, princess. The answer is option A. Nun. What moral failing makes Lord Angelo loathsome? The options are A. Gluttony, and then hypocrisy, greed, wrath. The answer is option B. Hypocrisy. What character trait of the Duke prompts him to ask for Angelo's help? The options are softness, severity, suspiciousness, and then naivety. The answer is A. Softness. Claudio depend less upon Dash for guidance than his sister Isabella. The options are laws, religious practices, their father's advice. The option is A and B, that is laws and religious practices. What is the name of Claudio's flamboyant bachelor friend? The options are Lucio, Escalus, Pompey, Elbow. The answer is option A, Lucio. What does the Duke grant Lord Angelo in the play's first scene? The options are his choice of mistress, a small fortune, a permanent rule over Vienna, a temporary rule over Vienna. The option is D, the temporary rule over Vienna. The gentleman that Lucio meets in the street talk about Angelo's rule, peace talk with Hungary, war with Norway, the defending of schools. The answer is option B, peace talk with Hungary. What kind of business does Angelo proclamation target? The options are gambling houses, and then brooches, bars, brothel. The answer is brothel D. Why does Angelo imprison Claudio? The options are jaywalking, petty theft, non-marital sex, treason. The answer is option C, non-marital sex. Who does Claudio ask Lucio to find so that he or she can appeal to Angelo on his behalf? The options are A. Pompey, B. Escalus, C. Isabella, D. Mariana. The correct answer is option C. Isabella. To whom does the Duke explain his reason for leaving Angelo in charge? The options are Mr. Zoverden and Provost, Friar Thomas, D. Escalus. The answer is Friar Thomas. How does the Duke hope that Angelo will exercise his new power? Just like he has, with more strictness, with less strictness, as Angelo can. The answer is option D, with more strictness. What does the Duke ask Friar Thomas for? A. Advice, B. Blessing, C. Disguise, D. Money. The answer is option C, a disguise. According to Lucio, what does Angelo plan to do with Claudio? The options are imprison him, execute him, free him, exile him. The answer is option B, execute him. To Lucio, what will enable Isabella to convince Angelo to have mercy on her brother? The options are her feminine charms, her superior rhetorical skill, her Christian grace, and option D is all the above. The answer is option A, her feminine charms. How should Angelo treat Claudio according to Escalus? With no mercy, with some mercy, as the Duke could, as Angelo sees it? The answer is option B, with some mercy. How does Angelo claim he hopes to be treated if he ever transgresses like Claudio? The options are leniently, with the same strictness, with greater strictness as the Duke sees it. The option is with B, with the same strictness. What does elbow tends to confuse as become apparent when Angelo questions him? The options are words, directions, numbers, names. The answer is option A, words. Where does Elbow tell Angelo that he found Pompey and Fraud? The options are the gutter, a bar, a gambling house, a brothel. The correct answer is option D, a brothel. What attitude does Escalus ultimately take toward Angelo's determination to execute Claudio? The options are sad resignation, carefree resignation, resolute residence, and then indifference. The answer is sad resignation. Who or what does Isabella ask Angelo to condemn instead of Claudio? The options are Juliet, Mrs. Overden, the unjust law, and Claudio's fault. The answer is option D, Claudio's fault. Who whispers advice to Isabella as she begs for Angelo to have mercy on Claudio? The options are Claudio, Elbow, the Duke, Lucio. The answer is option D, Lucio. At the end of the first meeting, what does Angelo tell Isabella that he will do? The options are execute Claudio, free Claudio, exile Claudio, consider her request. The correct answer is option D, consider her request. What does Isabella offer to bribe Angelo at the end of their first meeting? The options are prayer, sex, money, advice. The correct option is prayer. While visiting the prison in disguise, what does Duke promise Juliet? To free her, to absolve her, to marry her, to save Claudio. The correct option is to absolve her. The option B. Does Angelo begin proportioning Isabella for sex? With baked compliments, directly, with hypocritical questions, with tardy jokes? The answer is option C, with hypocritical questions. How does Isabella respond when Angelo asks directly whether she would rather sacrifice her virginity to save her brother? The options are with mild distaste, she would rather die, she would consider it, she would do it. The correct option is she would rather die. According to Isabella, what will she will not be able to do by sinning? Becoming duchess, make Angelo good, redeem her brother, to save her brother. The correct option is redeem her brother. What does Angelo say in response to Isabella's threat to blackmail him? The options are that it will ruin him, that he will imprison her, nobody would believe her, his reputation matters a little. The correct option is nobody would believe her. How does Isabella predict that Claudio will take her refusal to sleep with Angelo? Agreement with her decision, understand but disappointment, as it personal insult, indifferent. The answer is agreement with disappointment. Who eavesdrops on Isabella's conversation with Claudio in the prison? The options are Angelo, the Duke, Lucio, Escalus. The correct answer is the Duke. What punishment does Isabella describe to Claudio as an alternative to execution? The options are exile, life imprisonment, loss of honor, psychological torture. The correct option is C, loss of honor. What does Claudio change his mind about in the course of his discussion with Isabella? Whether to marry Juliet, whether to attempt escape, his will beneficiaries, what he will do. The correct option is what she will do. According to what the Duke tells Claudio, why did Angelo preposition Isabella? To test her virtue, to mock her, he is corrupt, he fell in love with her. The correct option is test her virtue. Seemingly unthinkable act does the Duke plan require Isabella to carry out? Agreeing to Angelo's request, watching her brother's execution, becoming a prostitute, marrying Duke. The correct option is agreeing to Angelo's request. Who does Pompey ask to pay his bail? The options are Lucio, Mr. Soverden, Elbow, Bernardine. The correct answer is option A, Lucio. Whose whereabouts does Lucio ask the Duke if he knows? The options are Angelo, Claudio, Isabella, the Duke. The correct option is the Duke. On what subject does the Duke contradict Lucio, leading to the heated argument? The law's righteousness, Claudio's guilt, the Duke's sexual history, Angelo's goodness. The correct option is the Duke's sexual history. According to Mrs. Overden, what crime has Lucio committed that invalidates the testimony against her? The options are treason, libel, fornication, perjury. The correct answer is fornication. How does the Duke respond when Escalus asks him where he is from? Claims to be foreign, claims to be Venice, claims to be Scottish, claims to be French. The correct answer is claims to be foreign. What does Isabella instruct Mariana to keep to a minimum during her tryst with Angelo? Eye contact, foreplay, talk, physical contact. The correct answer is talk. What is the name of the carefree bohemian who is to be executed on the same day as Claudio? The options are Benvolio, Bernardine, Banquo, Tyban. The correct answer is Bernardine. What object does Angelo request to have sent to him on the day of Claudio's execution? A golden calf, a portrait of himself, Claudio's necktie, Claudio's head. The correct option is Claudio's head. What object does the Duke ask the provost to send Angelo in place of Claudio's head? The options are a marble bust, Bernardine's head, Isabella's head, and arrest warrant. The correct option is Bernardine's head. How does the Duke propose disguising Bernardine's head as Claudio? The options are by shaving it, by applying makeup, by covering it in bandages. Answer option A and B. The correct option is by shaving it, option A. We will see the remaining questions in the next video. Bye friends.